fun applying some rules to my pentatonic playing. Because one of the things we often face, one of the challenges we often face when we solo is that we keep going round and round in the same loops, doing the same things over and over again. And a simple rule of I must play so-and-so, and I must keep this a little rule when I'm improvising using my pentatonic scale, can just break up the whole thing and really challenge you and force you, absolutely, to break out of the playing, the habitual patterns that you always use. So let me just give you a couple of the rules that I've used throughout the time when I was practicing soloing, and then you can just right away start applying them to your own playing and really hear yourself play some new stuff. And I should say this is a little teaser for our program out now that you can go check out by clicking the link below here. If you want a lot more of ideas like this, then go see what that is about. But let's look into it. Let's go close up and I'll show you the different concepts I got going here. So let's have a look at it. The first rule is a really cool one. I love that. Because I have my first position minor shape right here in the 12th fret, so in the key of E minor. And what you heard before was just an E minor chord being played in the background. So you play around with this shape. It's you find the cool places to bend the note and everything, and pretty soon you get stuck in it, right? But then you can follow this rule of going up one position, and I'm just talking about discovering what note is above your first position here. I'm not talking about learning the shapes and going up into the shapes. I'm just talking about just start with a high E string. I see a whole tone above that high note there in the 15th fret, up in the 17th fret. On both the B and the E string, you have that extra note there that you can slide up to, right? And the same thing goes below those low notes here in the 12th fret. You can go down to the 10th, and you have two of the same notes down there. And then the rule says that I must, before I move on to another string when I'm playing, I must touch all four positions here. So if I'm playing something here, I must touch this note, and I must touch that as well. I'm just using it to slide up to the 12th fret here. For instance, right? Same thing here. Right? So the same thing goes here. Let's just discover the whole shape here. When it comes down to the G string, we got a minor third below it. So down in the 9th fret is the note, and then a whole tone interval up in the 16th fret here. So I had to go. That's a good idea, or a good chance to do some sliding here. Sounds really cool. If we look at the D string, we got the notes in the 12th and the 14th in the regular shape, and then I got my 17th fret all the way up there, right? And a minor third as well as on the G string here. So I got both a minor third up and a minor third down. On the A string, I got a whole tone down and I got a minor third up. On the E string, whole tone down and a whole tone up. But you don't want to, you go Claus, I can't, if you're used to the first position shape here, that was a lot of information. But you need to focus, like say, you take 5 minutes out and then stay on the top two strings. Put on a jam track or just play something in the background. Just play a simple E minor there. Right? And spend some time there before you move on. And then once that is really, that's pretty simple, right? Because it's a whole tone up and whole tone down on both strings. So that's pretty quickly learned. But you need to remember it tomorrow as well, right? So you can pretty quickly include the G string here, 12, 14, and 16. So one whole tone up and one minor third down. Then you start messing around with all these three. And when you play with the band or on a jam track, you just decide. So every time I use the minor pentatonic first position shape, I have a rule of I have to touch each of these 4 positions on each string. See, notice? Hard to play the same old stuff that you've been playing over and over again when you apply a rule like that. Once you've gotten really used to the 3 strings down here, you can move to include another string and another until you have the whole thing down, over a week or 2 weeks. And then you have that horizontal playing involved as well. And then you can always learn the 2 shapes really that you are moving down and up to, and suddenly you have a reach like that instead of like this. Okay, so let's create another rule. Let me say that I'm only going to play 1 note on each string, right? That is my rule, and then I can finish the line I'm creating. So, for instance, if I play that, that's the only note I'm playing on the high E string. Then I'm playing a note here on the B string, and that's the only note on that string. And then a note here on the, and often it becomes like, the first finger, 4th or 3rd finger, because that's the easy thing. So you kind of, right? Right? And that, because it fits. But you can also have, same fret. Right? So let's try that, and I can go back and forth between the same string. But that's just going to push me out of... So I go... And then I end it, right, by sliding up. Mix it with the other rule. Right? Another rule. I can say I must play 2 notes on one string, then 1 note on the next, 2 notes on the next, then 1 note on the next, and then 2, and then 1, right? So I go. Listen to that, it's amazing. 2, 1, 2, 1. Just random stuff here. I can do one of the 2 on the string, right? 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shift to another pattern. We just try and play around with that as well. Four note thing. The 1 note. Right? And pretty soon when you mess around with these different little rules here, and you apply one, then another, and go back and forth between them, your whole playing it just gets messed with, basically. So all the patterns in your brain of moving your fingers in a specific way, they just die, basically. You can return to them, of course, but now you have a way of breaking out of whatever playing style or whatever patterns you use.